Welcome to the Jones Way Podcast, episode 6. I am your host, Lorraine Jones, and this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. So, today, y'all, we're going to do a little bit of girl talk. So, I got a few of my good girlfriends and my niece to come in. We have Brittany, my good friend, who is also my makeup artist. We have my good friend, Jasmine, who goes by the name of Jazz. And then we have my niece, Simone, who goes by Moan. So this is our podcast for today. So anyway, y'all, you know when you get a group of women together, men are going to always come up in the conversation. Relationships are going to come up in the conversation. That's just what we do. So we're just going to talk about some random things today and just give you our points of view, the women points of view, how they feel about certain things and things like that. So our first question is, when is a man considered to be an actual man? When does he exit the boy stage?
When he learns to control his emotions.
When he learns to control his emotions?
Mhm.
So you feel like that's what makes him a man?
It's not a specific age.
It's not a specific age. Agree?
Yeah, when you get 21, I think you're legal, but that don't mean you're grown. You can still have the mentality of a child even when you're 30, 40, 50. Yeah, I think it's your actions and your confidence, definitely your emotional well-being.
Does he have to be able to take care of himself on his own to be considered a man?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's part of becoming a man. So at 18, is a man a man? At 18?
Mm-mm.
Definitely not.
So
He's growing up, but he's not officially grown.
21,
You're legal.
not a man? So y'all don't know any mature men?
But I
at-
was going
I
to
think
say
it depends on who you are.
how you were raised too, because
Yeah.
I know some
Yeah.
young gentlemen that are very mature for their age,
Right.
but they've seen it modeled before them, so they kind of grew up seeing their grandfather, maybe
Right.
their dad, so they had no choice but to adapt. And they might be 18. I know some 16-year-olds walking around like little preachers, little men. So
So you do have some men that are that act older than what they are and are more responsible. Do you feel like a man should be financially stable before dating?
absolutely, at least well on his way.
Yeah, because you need to be able to treat me like I treat me.
Okay, so y'all say that. Y'all say that. So when did y'all have y'all first boyfriend? At what age?
Like real boyfriend.
Real boyfriend, yeah. Where like you was dating, going out on dates. When was your first real boyfriend? Took you out to eat, just a regular date.
22.
22?
20 for me.
20 for you?
Probably about 20. It's when you say real date.
Yeah,
Mhm.
'cause you know in high school,
In
you
high
kind
school,
of
that don't
hitting
count.
and missing, but
yeah,
like,
and y'all ain't sitting down.
But now,
nowhere,
wait a
but-
minute. Because
My
now the
mama let me
kids in
go
high
nowhere.
school, they go out on dates. They go out to eat.
well,
Times are
back
different.
when I was in high school, I wasn't going out on no date with
Well, I
no boy.
wasn't either like that.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, I had boyfriends, but
Yeah, talk
I
on the
didn't. Well, a
phone.
boyfriend, but I didn't get to. I mean, we hung out, but I didn't. We didn't never do a date.
okay, so let me paint the picture. So, just say, for instance, I'm in college. So, I'm 20. I'm in college. My boyfriend is 20 and he's in college. We're trying to get to where we need to be. So, we shouldn't date. I shouldn't date him because he's
Baby,
not
I
fine.
wasn't dating in college.
You didn't date in
I
college?
wasn't.
Well,
I was
had
out. I
some
was having fun,
Friendships
but I wasn't
and
dating.
situationships in college. I thought it was serious. You know how you think you in love and stuff
Mhm.
like that, but looking
But he not
back,
stable?
No, he wasn't stable. We all try to get stable. We trying to figure it out. You
So
know,
let me ask y'all this. What, us as women, what do we consider stable? A stable man. What is your idea of a stable man?
To me, a stable man is somebody that's working, whether that's a 9 to 5, a chemical plant, blue collar. You're investing in your 401k for retirement. You're saving money. You're able to provide for yourself effortlessly, not living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay. Not living paycheck to paycheck. So if I'm dating a man who is living paycheck to paycheck, he paying all of his bills, all of his stuff is good, his credit is good, he just making enough to cover what he needs to cover. to me, that shows responsibility.
Mhm.
Do that show responsibility
he's
to y'all,
responsible.
ladies?
He's
So he's responsible. So would you not talk to him because he's living paycheck to paycheck? Because he not gonna always make the same amount of money.
Right. If he's living like that, but I know that he's trying to do better, he's trying to move
Mhm.
up the ladder, that's different.
That's different.
Mhm.
When we're just dating, I'm not expecting you to be able to take care of me.
Okay.
Right.
What about you, Jazz?
That's true. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, I mean, that's just the cards that are dealt for some people. Like,
But if I look at a man and he's living paycheck to paycheck, and I think, okay, so he responsible. So then if I come on in the clutch and come through, then what can we do together? He responsible. He paying the bills. So if I come in together, and at some point we may have to split the bills or whatever like that, and then as we grow and he does better, we'll be able to do better.
But
And I don't think
can't
women
speak
look
on
at it
that,
from
though.
that. You can't speak on it.
I
hadn't done that.
used to look at it like that, but right now I'm just dating for fun. I'm here for a good time.
You here for
A good time.
okay? So
So I'm not going in thinking about, oh, well, when we get married
Uh-huh.
or we become one.
okay.
I'm not looking at it like that.
So
no more.
Simone says she here for a good time. So let's start here. What's your relationship status?
Single.
Have you ever been married?
Yeah.
Okay. So of course mine is married. I've been married for 13 years. Jazz,
I'm in a relationship.
you in a
Oh,
relationship?
she kind of laughed that one off.
Okay. Brittany?
I'm legally married. At the
Okay.
moment, we're legally married. Now we're physically separated right
Okay.
at this moment. So
Okay. Okay, so that's our relationship status. Okay. So you say you dating for fun.
Mhm.
So you're not looking for nothing.
Mm-mm.
But if it turns into something,
Then it just does.
Then it
but
just
I'm
does.
not going in with expectations
Mm.
because that's how you get disappointed.
will you ever get married again?
You're going to have to be a real man and coming hard.
Okay, so we consider a stable man to be working, paying his bills, maybe some 401k.
and it's gonna really be determined how you treat me.
Mhm.
Because you can have a lot of money, you can have everything going for yourself and be
Mhm.
established, and then feel like that's your ticket to, treat me any kind of way.
Mhm.
So if he's good to you and he's trying to aspire to be something better, I'm looking at how you treat me now. Are you going out of your way? No, you don't have a lot of money, but are you making effort with I got $20. That's all I got left. Listen, go. I know you need some, whatever it is from the store here. Like, I can see that you're selfless, even with the little.
Mhm.
That speaks volumes to me.
Okay.
To me.
Okay. So, moving on to the next thing. So this is a question that I ask a lot of women, and everybody's answer is different. Are girlfriend and wife duties the same?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Absolutely not.
They shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, come on.
But I know the lines get blurred.
They
Mhm.
do.
They get blurred, but they should be and I'm at the point now to where it's going to be a distinct difference.
Okay.
If we're just dating.
So now let me ask you this: are the roles different if I'm with this man and we live together and we're not married?
I'm not doing that.
But I'm saying if we're gonna paint the picture like I'm living with this man, we not married. Are my duties and my roles different from a wife? Because I'm kind of living like a wife, aren't I?
I said when
Yeah.
you cross that line, then you're already in position.
Yeah.
You put yourself in a position to be a wife, so you might as well step on up to the
Okay,
plate.
so what are you doing as a girlfriend versus a wife? So y'all tell me what's the
As
difference?
your girlfriend, I'm not doing your laundry. I'm not cooking for you, making sure you got a meal on the stove when you get home from work. I'm just simply there for a good time.
Okay, so if
No
so,
responsibility.
okay, so the women that are dating to marry. So if I'm dating to marry,
Mhm.
so if I'm dating this man and he work at a plant, he working hard. So it's wrong for me to cook something for him if he come over my house. Just like because when you dating and y'all living separate, he might come over my house and spend the night. I might go over his house and spend the night. So you say you're not gonna do no cooking or nothing?
I
for him?
will, but it's not going to be a consistent thing.
It's something
I'm going
you
to show
choose
you
to
I
do.
know what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to give it to you.
you don't want him to expect
I'm not
it.
giving all of it to
All
you.
of that. So what do y'all think? Because when men are looking for wives, do you think you have to show them that you?
I definitely think
Are
they're
capable?
checking out for those qualities. They
Mhm.
want to know, like, okay, can she cook? Okay, Is she going to be here if I need her for, emotional support? Because a
Mhm.
lot of times men don't say it, but they be looking for emotional support as well.
Mhm.
Does she keep a clean house?
Mhm.
How does she treat her kids? How
Mhm.
does she handle her money? Like they low key sitting back looking and taking notes on all of that.
So I feel like the roles are different. If you don't live together, I feel like the roles they're different. But when you live together, they are kind of like one and the same. Because the only thing that changed when I got married was my last name changed. We were already kind of living like we was married. We already had a kid. All of that. The only thing that really changed was the fact that my husband was more responsible for me. When we weren't married, he was responsible for me, but I feel like I got your last name now. So like you responsible for me now. So like I said, the only thing that changed was pretty much that, like I can get on your health insurance now. You may carry more of the load because you're my husband now. You the provider or
Right.
whatever.
It makes it hard to walk
But
away.
yeah, it do. And so I just feel like people say that. So speaking of the women, what about the men? Are the boyfriend and husband duties the same? Or are they different?
As my husband, I'm expecting you to be a protector, a provider, and we're as one.
So what do you expect from a boyfriend?
I mean, you take me on a couple dates, you get me gifts, like we're just getting to know each other.
Okay, so if he
We're
your
seeing
boyfriend,
if
should he
it'll
help
work.
should he help you on a bill if you need help on a bill?
No, as my boyfriend, if you know I'm going to get my toes done, well, babe, I'm about to send you some money on Cash App. Go get your toes done.
So he don't have to pay no bills.
Mm-mm.
What about you, Jazz?
Well, I've never been married, so
Not
it's
married.
kinda,
If
right. But I'm saying I've never been married, so I really just can't say. But as a boyfriend, I've never had a boyfriend that has not done nothing like that. Like
so all of your men they come through that you've been
they
with.
gonna come through. I mean, this
Is that a
what
requirement?
It is. It's not a requirement at all, but that's just what I've had. Those type of men who gonna come through or whatever, and like touching back on girlfriend and wife duties. Like sometimes as a girlfriend, you feel like those are the things that you have to do. Like, oh, I need to cook for you. Oh, I need to do this for you. And then I feel like as you grow and be with each other for so long, once you get married, it's like, I done did everything now. Like, you don't have nothing to look for. So I just feel like, as a girlfriend, don't overextend yourself for somebody that may be temporary in your life. And so I don't expect a boyfriend to do everything. But like I say again, I've only had a boyfriend and they've done that. But it's definitely not a requirement for me. I guess I just been blessed to get that type of guy,
Brittany, what about for you?
I can honestly say now, is nothing less attractive than a stingy man. He needs to be generous. And far as a boyfriend, I'm not looking for you to be my husband, but I'm looking for consistency.
Right.
Being consistent, whether you showing up, whether you texting, whether you calling, or like just the little things, like just thinking outside the box. You were attentive to our conversation. You might have heard me say, I sure like this particular brand of makeup, just something. And you go get it. Just let me know that you're paying attention. That lets me know that you could potentially be husband material. Just consistencies like that. I don't expect you to pay a bill, but if I come to you and I have a situation as a man, that most men are problem solvers. They want to step up and take the load off. How can you help me? Because if you come to me and you got a legit problem as somebody that is close to you and that care about you, I'm going to see how I can help you.
Right.
I ain't got to be your wife to help you.
Right.
Right.
I help my friends if they need it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you got some men like, oh, I sure hate to hear that. Crickets. Okay, I already know right now you're not the one.
And see, my
You know what I'm
problem
saying?
with dating is guys, like, they look at what I do for work or they look at
What do
what
you
I
do for work?
drive.
What do you
I'm
do?
an associate chemist at Amfield,
What is your
Okay.
degree in?
chemical engineer.
Okay.
So they see what I bring to the table and they feel like, oh, well, she don't need no help. Or I ain't got to help her like I would have to help somebody with kids that need food in their refrigerator. So I feel like sometimes I come off as hyper dependent hyper independent, but that's because I don't want, like, I don't know, I just don't want the wrong type of guy. I don't really want somebody that feels like, oh, she needs me.
So, but men want to feel needed though.
Yeah, I want to need you, but I don't want you to be like, oh, she need me. If I don't do this for her, she just not gonna have it. Cause some broke men are mean.
Broke men are
The
mean.
audacity, though.
Broke
that's
men
what-
are mean.
Okay.
So everybody's not going to look out for you like you would expect them to. So if I say, oh, well, I need an oil change, I don't really have it this week. One guy might be like, well, I'll cash up you the money. The other one be like, oh, well.
crickets.
Wait till
Sorry
you
to
get your
hear that.
check.
Yeah,
And that's why
crickets.
you need to be financially stable before you start pursuing somebody.
So okay. So do you feel like being financially stable, do it depend on age? Because like when I was dating in my 20s, the way women are now is different than when I was in my 20s. When me and Laverne started dating, Laverne didn't even have no job, but he had some money. So like we would go out to eat. We would go to, because I thought I was a little bougie, a little fancy back then. I wanted to go to Red Lobster, that type of energy. So when me and him got together, he had never been to Red Lobster before. But when we went, he was able to pay. I didn't care where his money was coming from. Long as he had some money to take me out to eat, that was cool. And so when we separated and got back together, well, then he was working and all of that, and I was working and all of that too. And so I just like to go out, hang out, have fun, and that type of thing. So at that time, I knew where his money was coming from then because he was working. So it's like the things that women look for now in their 20s is different. And then the cost of stuff back in 2000 was totally different. So it didn't cost a lot to go out to eat and do this and, do that type of stuff. So I just feel like it depends on the age. Because like in my 40s, if me and my husband don't work out, if I get back in the dating scene, you're going to have your stuff together. I'm not finna grow with another man. Like, you need to be established. I'm already established, and then we can work together. I'm not there for the ride with building up a man. I did that in my 20s with my husband. I'm not about to do that with another
And
man.
that's why I say you need to be able to treat me like I treat me.
That's
if
true.
you're not used to going to steakhouses and all that, I'm not about to bring you up to that, because I'm going to bring you up to that and then you're going to take the next girl over there.
No, but you might can introduce him to something, though.
Been there, done that. I'm not doing it no more.
You're not doing it no more?
No.
Because they don't do right.
Mm-mm.
Well, I can't argue with that.
We need to be
Okay.
on the same level. I'm not building nobody
Financially,
else up.
too? So you don't want a man
Financi-
that make less money than you? Could you?
I'm not going to say that. If he make less than me, but he take care of home without me having to ask and him not saying, oh, you nagging all the time, money is not a factor.
Right.
Okay.
If it's not always just 50-50, this 50-50 thing. But sometimes it's not 50-50.
It
If I
never
need to
is.
put-
Never is.
It's never 50-50.
Never,
So if
ever.
I need to put a little bit more on the bills, but you handling the house, you folding clothes,
Right.
dishes, all that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're treating me right, what can I say?
So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of men get it misconstrued because they feel like because they're a good provider, they're a good man.
Mm-mm.
Being a good provider do not make you a good man.
Right.
Like I need to be able to be in my soft girl era. Like I need to, I need to be able to be allowed to be able to do that. And with the right man, I feel like you're able to do that. And don't get me wrong, because let me tell you something, relationships, y'all all know relationships are hard,
Work.
marriages are hard, all of that. But at the end of the day, you should have more good things going on
Absolutely.
than bad things. So you should
Absolutely.
absolutely be with a man that allows you to be like in your soft girl
Yeah.
era. Me and my friend girl were out to eat last Sunday night, and I cannot stand to see a man with a woman and a baby, and the woman have to carry the car seat. So I was watching him in a restaurant, and when they got up to leave, I was like, girl, you better keep him, because you see so many women carrying cars. I cannot stand it. You got a big old man, a big strong man, and you carrying the car seat, but the man is walking with nothing. You might have a car seat and the bag, but that man, he got up, he covered that baby up, he got up with that car seat, he did all of that, and I was like, you don't really see that anymore. Me, I didn't even know how to work the car seat. I didn't know how to install it in the car. I really didn't even know how to snap my son in the car
Yeah.
seat. I didn't know how to operate the stroller. I never had to do none of that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say soft girl era. Like your man should allow you to be in
He
your
should be
soft
willing
girl
to
era.
take on
yeah,
the majority of the load, because he
Mhm.
was built to take
To
on
do
the
that.
load. That's
Yeah.
why God made him the man, the head.
And then
We are there to
That's true.
support
Help me.
and to help,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
he was built to handle a lot, to take a lot, to carry a lot. And anytime he puts most of that responsibility on the woman, that's when you're really not a man. I don't care if you're in your 50s, your 60s, you're not a man if you're not making her life easier.
Right.
And it should be that way for both. Like
It should. You
add
should
to
do stuff
too.
to make your man life easy too. And I feel like a lot of men feel like because they're a good provider, that makes them a good man. No, that just makes you a good provider. You might be lacking all the other stuff. You know, like you might not listen to her. You don't communicate good. She can't run nothing by you. Can't talk to you. You might not talk to her correctly. Like it's a lot of things, but a lot of men associate money with
And you know what they
love.
get you?
What they get you?
But they, okay.
What they get you?
Them documents.
Them
I'm ready to
papers.
sign them
Them
papers.
papers. Okay. All right. So, I mean, you'll get them papers if you don't get it together because some women not playing. Okay. So, we're going to move on to the next question, y'all. So, does size matter?
Hell yes.
So, it matters?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
You
elaborate?
gotta give me something to work with.
Okay. If they ain't got nothing to work with, you can't handle it?
Sorry.
I think size is subjective to the person, because what one person might consider
Right.
small, somebody else, that's what they work with.
Some women say they want a small.
And then some
penis.
people like, okay, that's huge. And to some people, they're like, no, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So I
So
think
it's all about
subjective.
preference.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Jazz?
It just depends how I feel about you. Because if it's not what I'm accustomed to, I can make it work for me
Because you love them?
because I love you. But when the love gone, I'd probably be thinking like, what the hell?
I mean, when you in love, the little feel like the big.
Yeah.
So,
Now, listen.
But it's
you in
things you can
love.
do to make it better. Like
It
it's
is.
all kind
It
of other
is.
things you can do or
It
whatever.
is.
But eventually you're gonna get tired of it, and don't go out there and get a taste of something else because then you ain't gonna want it.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, so is love enough?
No.
Listen, it takes more than love.
Mm-hmm.
Love has to be the foundation.
Mhm,
Like you
mhm.
got to have love, because
Mhm.
without love, you ain't got like none of that other stuff matters. So love is the foundation. But what we build outside of that, like
So, I think love is absolutely the foundation. And I say that because when I don't like my husband, because you don't always like your husband, your mate, you do not. And that's just real talk. The love is what carries me through.
yes,
I love you, but I don't like you.
Mhm.
So that is what carries me through sometimes, like when we're at odds about something. So love is absolutely important. And so I do feel like people need to start marrying for love, because when you marrying for finances and other stuff, when that stuff run out, the love. So like if my husband go broke tomorrow, I love him enough not to leave him. I love him, but you got to do something.
I
You
think
gotta make
love
something
has to be
happen.
reciprocated, because love covers a multitude of faults. And if I love you, I don't want to see you hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So if my husband lost his job,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he knows that I'm going to help, he should love me enough to be in a hurry to take the load off of me. You know what I'm saying? Like you telling me you love me, but you seeing me just take this load on and carry it for a long extended period of time. I don't feel like that's love. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be reciprocated. Like you love each other enough to not hurt each other, or like not to see them struggle too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I say I love you, but I keep doing it over and over and over again, somewhere your love is tainted. You know what I'm saying? Love don't keep hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So
But that's just like they say, and I don't agree with this. So they say when your man cheat on you, he don't love you. I don't agree with that. I've cheated before,
You don't respect
and
me.
I've loved. Now it might be respect, but I've cheated before and loved my person. So I don't agree with that when they say, "Oh, that man don't love you because he cheated on you." I don't agree with that. And when you talk to men from a man's perspective, for them, oh, I cheated on you, it's just sex. But for me, because I've cheated before, I didn't cheat because I didn't love my mate. I cheated because I chose to cheat, not because I don't love you. So people say, "Oh, he cheating on her, he don't love her." I don't agree with it.
I don't believe in cheating in a marriage.
Right. Now, this is before I got married.
So
y'all.
yeah,
let me
like,
clarify
when
that.
we-
This
Before
was
marriage,
before I
I
got
probably
married.
had some situations going on, and he probably did a little something. So I don't know, because if I really love a person,
Mhm.
I don't see nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know
You
what I'm saying? I don't see nobody
Even when
else.
y'all at odds, even when y'all get
we
into
at
it.
odds, like that's still my man. And so that's how I feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he go out there and do something reckless like that, the way I feel about him, automatically you don't show me, you don't feel that way about me. So the trust
Because
is
he
off.
cheated, you feel like he doesn't
Yes,
feel the same.
like I'm always feel like the way I used to think that you felt about me, now I'm thinking like you looking at somebody else like that.
But,
I don't know.
But a
It's-
lot of men
it's a
say
trust.
it's just sex. It don't mean nothing. That's what.
And a
That's
lot
what
of
they
times
say.
it's not because he doesn't love you, he doesn't have self-control.
That'd be the case too. But
just
then
a
you don't
hoe.
really
they
love me
just
like
hoe.
you don't really love me like
So
you
you
say
telling
you
me
do.
Have you cheated before? And in a relationship? Did you not love your person when you cheated? Was you
I-
mad at him? Was
I
you-
loved them and I probably was mad, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like if you give me any reason to think you doing something
Mhm.
and the opportunity come for me and I really start, if you give me a chance to really be able to entertain this person and like this person, I mean, hey, it's probably just gonna happen, but that don't necessarily mean I don't love you. Like it's just,
Right.
you
So
left-
that's why.
you left the door open for that.
For that,
because you putting
uh-huh.
your energy somewhere else. So
Right.
Gave me
So
a
I
chance
don't
to
feel
do
like
it.
just because somebody cheat, I don't feel like that mean they don't love you. They just ain't got their stuff together. And
They're
sometimes,
reckless.
yeah, sometimes you just be doing stuff. Because the
We get
times I
reckless.
cheated, baby, I love my man, but you done pissed me off. Or I done found out you done cheated, so I done cheated back.
But back to this, does size matter? I'm gonna say something real because y'all know I be in that Bible too.
Okay, I
Y'all
know you
might
be in
not
that
know
Bible.
it.
Come on.
Yeah,
But
yeah, come
God
on.
created marriage
Mhm.
for man and woman.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to know what that man got in
Exactly.
them pants.
Listen,
until y'all
wait.
married.
But okay, now let me
And if you waited until you got married, you ain't had sex with nobody else.
Right.
You don't know what's big or what's small.
It's
and
to
that's
you
why
it's the
God
best thing.
Exactly. That's why God created it like that.
And
So
that's-
you telling me
no,
the first
seriously,
time?
that's
for
my
real.
deal.
That's true. That's true. And I guess I'm talking from an experience.
But see, most
been
of us
doing it.
we didn't wait for marriage.
We
Exactly.
didn't.
So we had
So you had
we had
options.
point of references like, okay, my first one, oh, you got
But now,
options.
because I had a friend that said it lasted 5 minutes. Is that good? She didn't have nothing to compare it to. So it's like, but now in my mind, I'm watching movies and TV, and you be seeing some sex scenes and stuff. You know, 5 minutes ain't that long. So sometimes you got the
And see,
Hip
if
and
you're
jab.
not watching that,
jab.
if you're not watching that, then you don't know.
you watching TV, you seeing some screwing.
But you're not supposed to be watching stuff like that as a Christian.
See,
No,
God
that's
give us
cool.
rules for our benefit. I'm just saying.
For
I mean,
real.
to piggyback on what you're saying, when you do it the right way, you don't have all these other avenues to look at.
You don't. You
and
don't.
so to you, that's the best thing since sliced bread because it's all you know.
It is, but
But
I'm telling you, it's
technically
hard that I
speaking-
watch TV because everybody got a sex scene or something in
yeah.
there.
We talking
So
about all
if
these
you
other
get with
partners.
this man, this only man you done been with, you get to watching some TV and you get to see some screwing going on that
I'ma say,
TV.
baby, you gonna have to
Right,
come
that's what
watch
I'm
this.
saying.
Come watch
The way the
this.
world is now, like
Yeah.
you gonna see some.
Mm-hmm.
it ain't a lot. Like I don't know, but the people I've seen or been around, it's not a lot of women waiting. You know,
No, it
they've
ain't.
been already done explored.
Cause the man don't men do not let up. They wants to do some screwing. I'm just gonna tell you.
and
They
send
they
pictures
do.
and everything.
They
now.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it ain't too many women that's if you can wait, I applaud you. Would I marry a man? Knowing what I know now.
Well, if I could
We're
go back
tainted
and
now.
do it
Yeah,
all over
we
again,
are.
I would have
Yes,
waited.
you
would've waited.
And I
Exactly.
would prefer him to been a waited. But I know that's like it's
Picking a
like
needle out
it's
of
like
haystack.
a fantasy, but it is real. You got people out there that actually do it that way, and I wish now that I know what I know,
Yeah.
I could have undid it and did
did
it
it
that
again.
And to be
way.
honest,
but
it's
you know,
not too late.
oh, I know,
it's
honey,
not too
because
late.
where I'm at right now is serious vetting going on,
Mm-hmm.
and my expectations are high because if you can't come up, I'm not coming down.
Absolutely. You
And
should
if you
not.
can't, and especially when it comes to that Bible, you got to come with it too, because I know what I'm looking at. I know where I'm going with it, and we got to be equally yoked. And that ain't just about religion. That's like with finance,
Everything.
That's everything. And so knowing me, I'm not even ready. When it comes to that, I'm not ready to get out there because I'm still working on me.
And that's why I'm just dating for fun.
I'm working on
'cause
me.
I'm
Working
getting
on you.
myself
Yes,
together.
hotel.
Because I know what I'm about to
I
bring
know
to the
that
table.
God has promised me my kingdom spouse. spouse, and the person that I had wasn't my kingdom spouse.
He wasn't your person.
We weren't equally yoked.
So let me ask y'all this. Why do we ignore the red flags then?
Ooh, Lord.
child, I just wanted to get married.
You did?
I did.
And see, I never just was ready to just like get married. Like, my goal was never to get married.
Right.
But then when me and Laverne got together and we started living together and then we had the baby, because my pastor, when I got pregnant, wanted me to come before the church and do all of that. And I chose not to do that because I'm not going to come before this church and play with God. I'm
Right.
checking up with this man. I'm pregnant. And I'm not finna marry him because I'm pregnant. I got to see what kind of daddy he finna be, what kind of father he finna be, so I can see if he the right man for me. So I just didn't do that. I did not. But my goal was to never, ever just like be married. I was very selfish. I wanted to spend my money on what I wanted to do. I wanted to have fun. It was all about me. But then as I grew up, and then when I got pregnant, I didn't have no choice but to get myself together. And so I did. But I just felt like all of my friends had kids. I was pretty much one of the last ones to have a baby. And I saw the things that they dealt with. And I just... I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to go through that. And I did not want to be a single parent. And so after I had my baby, I had to wait and see how Laverne was going to be with our son. I had a whole C-section. I came home. He got up and down with that baby. He was an amazing father. Honestly, he would have that baby just as much as me, sometimes even more than I did. So for me, it was just, I don't know. I feel like God blessed me when it came to that. But I had saw so much. And then my sister had a daughter. So Simone, I watched the interaction between her and her baby daddy and my sister and her baby daddy and then my friends and their baby daddies. And I did not want to go through that because, baby, I'd have been in jail back then. So I'm so glad that I was blessed to get a good father, for my kid. But that wasn't the goal. Marriage was never the goal for me. I was just having a good time. I was young, wanted to do what I wanted to do. I didn't have time to be picking up no diaper bag with no baby, no bottles and all of that. But I was 26 when I had my son, and so I was ready. So, does age matter?
Mm-mm.
No. Would you date younger?
Yes.
How much younger
I've talked to someone 8 or 9 years younger than me.
than you? Okay.
Oh,
What about
friend.
you?
He was mature though.
So some younger men are mature. What about you, Brittany?
Yeah.
You would date
I've
younger?
always dated older though.
So you would date younger?
Probably not.
Probably not. So do you want older than what you had?
I want them older than me. Oh, like I said, I've always dated older, but I've always been considered mature for my age.
Right,
so I've always
absolutely.
attracted older men.
Uh-huh.
And so, praise God, I'll be 38 in April.
Hallelujah.
So I'm 37 right now. So if he was 35, but he had his stuff together, I'm going to consider it.
You consider?
I
Okay.
would consider, dating somebody younger than me. But I prefer, God knows I prefer him to be older because that
older,
means
more
he's
seasoned.
established. He needs to be established.
What about you?
But he
Sarah?
could be young and established, so.
I prefer somebody that's older, that's experienced their whole phase.
There you go.
Like they know
That's
what's in
it.
the streets, and like
done
when
with
they
that.
get me, they like, well, this the best thing smoking. So I better try to do right.
Okay.
Versus you get me and then you start getting a desire to go see what's out there.
Right, they
because
ready
you
to
didn't
sell
have
their
that.
roll over.
Yeah, you didn't
You didn't
have
get to
that
experience that
phase.
before you.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next question: how important is dating in a relationship or marriage? Like just going out on actual dates.
It's
How
so
important is that?
important. You
Mhm.
got to keep that going.
How often in a relationship or in a marriage should you go out on a date?
Once a week.
Once a week.
At least. But I think it depends on your marriage, your work schedule,
Your
but you
finances.
need and your finances, but you should be trying to do some at least once a week.
Yeah, once a week, so we can just check in with each other outside of
Let's see
like
what's
the
going on.
household, the kids, just to check in with each other, see how each other's doing mentally that week, what's going on that week. Are you going to be more busy this week than you were last week? Just checking in.
Just to check in.
Mhm.
So I think that, but see, here's the thing about dating in my marriage. My son's 16. So I can date any day of the week that I choose to because he almost grown.
Yeah.
So we typically will go out on a date on Friday night. If we want to go out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we can because my son is at the age where he don't want to go nowhere. He don't want to do nothing. So like getting a date is not, it's not hard. But when you have kids and stuff like that, it is hard. So if you got somebody that'll help you with your kids so that you can do the date night, I feel like date night is very
It
important.
keeps the
It
keeps the
does.
love in there, and
It
it keeps
does.
the excitement.
It does.
Because you can get so caught up in the mundane, the routine, and the schedule. Go to work, pick the kids up, come home, cook. You have to kind of break away and remember why all this even exists. You know what I'm saying? You can't lose sight of it. And I can speak from experience. I've been, me and my husband, we got away from that for a while. And the marriage suffers when you don't make time for each other. And I'm not talking about, in the bedroom.
Right.
Outside
of that.
like you said, checking in, that matters. So you don't want to lose that.
You don't. I think dating is important. And then I've learned in my marriage now that space is also important.
Absolutely.
My husband and I, we spend a whole lot of time together. We pretty much do everything together if we not at work. So now we're in a space to where we kind of want to do some stuff. Like I got my little friend group. This is my friend group right here. Some of the ladies in my friend group. So we hang out. My husband doesn't really have friends, but my husband is an introvert. So I think space is a good thing. When a person tell you that they want space or that they need space, sometimes you can be offended, but if you sit down and really think about it, you need that. You need that little me time, that little time for yourself to be away, because a lot of times when you married and you in a household with a spouse and children, you don't get that time. So I feel like dating is important as well as space too. That's important.
A balance.
It's balance. It is. We're gonna talk about submissive. So I'm gonna give y'all a definition. This is a submissive wife. Typically understands as a woman who chooses to follow her partner's lead and decisions in the relationship. It involves yielding to her husband's authority and supporting him in his responsibility to lead under God. Now, I'm going to be honest. I do feel like Black women struggle with being submissive. Would y'all agree
I
to
agree.
that?
Yeah, because most Black women are raised by single mothers.
And they're raised to be independent. So is being submissive something that y'all struggle with, even in your relationship? Because you can be submissive in your relationships too before you're married.
I want to be submissive.
I do
Like
too.
I want to be submissive, but I think it gets a bad connotation now. Like submissive means doormat or you don't have a voice. That's not the definition of a submissive wife. It allows you to live in your soft girl era. It allows you to remain feminine when you are submissive because, and I'd say this, that means you have to pick right too, because you have to really trust him to lead. That's the only way it'll work. That's the only way you can be submissive is if he's really leading. It's hard to submit to somebody
That
can't lead.
So do y'all feel like other races are more submissive
Absolutely.
than African American women?
But see, their model is different too.
Yes, because I feel
They come
like
from a
they're
two-parent home.
groomed to be wives. They're groomed to
And
take care of their man, and
white men are groomed to be husbands,
Exactly.
providers, protectors.
so you don't feel like Black men are groomed to do that.
Not all.
I wouldn't
of
say
Not all.
that. Some of them are. Like
Some, but
I
not
wouldn't.
all.
I'm
We're
not gonna
changing the
just-
dynamics now, which is good.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna just say a Black man is not, because you have some Black men who come from really good homes and they know how to lead. They know how to be great husbands. They know how to be great fathers. So I'm not gonna take that away from some of the Black men who do. Now, as far as being submissive, I'll be submissive to the right man.
Yeah.
Like you have to be the right man in order for me to be submissive to you. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just be submissive just because I'm your wife or I'm your
Yeah.
girlfriend. Give me a reason
Yeah.
to want to
want
allow
to.
you to lead or whatever, because that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The man is always the head of the household, but you got to be willing to lead me in the right direction. I'm not gonna let you lead me to hell and just following you, just trying to have a title or something, because that's not how it goes. But I would never take that away from a Black man, because you have a lot of Black men now. You have some that are not, but you have some that are really, really great
on that
men and come from really, really great
Good
homes.
stock.
It don't matter if they grandfather raised them, because a lot of times when a grandfather was in the home and he raised that man is a really good man. And even some, I've seen some come from single parent households and
Times be
they
great.
know, because they don't want they seen it firsthand how it is for their mother to struggle. So why would I get with a woman and allow her to have that same struggle? Like,
Come on,
Absolutely.
Jazz.
Absolutely.
That's not it. So
Come on, friend.
But
Yeah.
but I won't take that away from our
So
black men, no.
so do you
Let me
feel
just say
like
this,
it has to be taught? Because like my husband, he was raised by his grandmother and his grandfather was present. So his dad not present so much, and he's already shared that. So my thing is he learned how to be a parent just from doing, because he didn't want his kid to experience the things that he experienced. And his grandmother raising him, she taught him the things that he needed to know. But as far as being a man, there are some things that a woman cannot teach a man. So it's like sometimes I think it has to be in you, because being taught is one thing, but I feel like sometimes it's just in you or it's not in you.
And a lot of men operate out of, well, my dad wasn't in the household and I know what I went through, so I don't want my children to go
Right.
through that.
Right.
So it
And
just depends on the person.
I feel like a man, just speaking to, anytime a man throws that word like you need to submit, already right there, I like how we were saying earlier, what makes a man a man. If you have to ask me or tell me I need to submit,
Red
you're not a
flag.
man. Because a real man is just going to lead, and he automatically knows that if I lead right, she's going to automatically follow suit.
But
so
now-
when you come telling me you need to bring 50-50, I need you to do this, automatically I'm already checked out.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like when black women encounter a good black man, because they've been independent for so long, that they still struggle? Because it's kind of like you have to be open to needing a man. So like me, I'm not one of them kind of women. I need my husband. I'm not one of them kind of women that I be hollering, I'm independent, blah, 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 make my own money, because I do. But at the end of the day, I need my husband. I don't necessarily need him so much financially, but I need him for other things, just like he need me for other things. So it's like, it's not about finances, but if you already an independent woman and you've been independent for so long, then you come in
Baby,
contact with this
come
good
take the
man.
load off of me.
Does it make, but see, our women, they so used to being independent and providing for themselves. Do you feel like it's hard for them to accept that?
It depends on a woman in her past, because you have some women who have had who was in a past relationship, and believe it or not, some men can build you to be like a hard ass, and the way they treat you, you'll build up a wall and you'll get to being somebody that you don't even know yourself, and you'll have these you just be superwoman and you ain't taking no BS from nobody. So if I'm that way and my past relationship built me that way, it's gonna be hard at first, but going back to leading, if you are the right guy, you're gonna help me break away from that, and you're gonna allow me to enter into my soft girl era. Because if I've been dealing with BS in the past, and you come through and you sweep me off my feet and you show me, baby, I'm a different type of man. You got
You're
me.
gonna be a
then
different type of woman.
I'll be a different type of woman for you, and I'll knock
Absolutely.
that wall down, and I'll allow you to
Absolutely.
come in and do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
And I was listening to a podcast on the way here, and it was about submission. And submission breaks down into being able to submit to the mission.
Come on here. Yes.
So you're on this man is on this mission, and I'm here to support him.
Absolutely.
But if you're not on no mission, what am I gonna support?
What are we doing? Absolutely. I feel like when
Clock
you are
Gotta
that
clock
T.
that T.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I say sometimes singleness is a gift, because it allows you to see, it's like a mirror. You see like what you're struggling with. Like I realize that I have this wall up, but I don't want to have this wall up. Like when the right man comes, I want to be this. If you can already recognize this, go on and start working on becoming this. So when he
Absolutely.
comes, you're already
ready.
healed.
You're ready.
And
You're
he ain't
ready.
sitting here waiting on you to not. He like, because I don't want to have to come to you and knock down a wall. I need you to come ready. So like for me, that's why I said right now, this is a good thing. Because when I
Yeah,
enter
single
in,
is not
it's
always.
a great thing.
Let me tell you something. A lot of
Yeah.
women feel like being single is bad. It ain't bad, because let me
listen,
tell you
it's
something.
some
If I
peace.
ever get single again, and I love my husband dearly, if I ever get single again, baby, I'm not gonna cook. When I leave home, my house gonna be clean. When I come back, I'm gonna do what Lorraine wanna do. Absolutely. Because when you marry, it's like my husband don't require me to cook, but my husband been in the gym heavy. He been working out. So I need to be cooking because what good is it doing him in the gym? He trying to get fine. And then I'm out here, I ain't cooking. So it's like, it's some things that I don't have to do. I'm not required to cook. I do it because I want my husband to try to eat a little healthier. And my husband, he getting fine.
And you're taking care of him.
That's-
And I'm taking care of
that
him.
love.
So being single, baby, you don't have to worry about nothing but yourself.
Mhm.
If me and my husband don't work out, my son gonna be grown. I'm going to live my absolute best life because I've been with somebody pretty much the majority of my adult life. So being single is not all that bad. You can do what you want to do. You can go out with who you want to go out with. You can be bothered if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I mean, it ain't that bad. Now, financially, if you're not making good money, you don't have a good job, it's stressful, you know, with the way the economy and stuff is. But as far as like, if you able to provide and take care of yourself,
Let me say this
Hey.
because I was in a relationship at the time when I did leave. We had been together probably 9 years.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I need to get to know me because I had been dating him since I was 21 years old.
that's a long time.
And I never got to, like, I would conversate with different guys, but I never got to experience a different
A
kind
different kind of guy.
a different kind of guy. So once I became single
Mm-hmm.
for a year and a half, I didn't have the same finances that I had when we were together. But let me tell you this, God made a way.
Always.
Everything that I did when I was with him, I did more when I was by myself and just with my children. And I even downsized. I left a 3-bedroom, 2-bath and went to a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment with me and my 3 kids at the time, just so I can gain a sense of peace.
Peace
And
is
just so I
priceless.
can, and just so I can get to know me again. And if you're in a relationship and you all about that relationship and you all about trying to make it work, you're gonna lose yourself. So when you do get a chance to get to yourself and be by yourself, embrace that because it's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll be surprised of the hobbies that you pick up. And you'll be surprised of the things that the Lord will introduce to you to lead you up into that. Because right before I left, I had started doing J Inspires. And it was something that I didn't practice. I wasn't expecting to do that. But it happened and everybody be like, what did he do to her? He didn't do nothing to me. It's just that sometimes God will put you in a place and he prepares you for what's next.
Absolutely.
And he did that for me. And when I was by myself, I was smaller. I could do whatever I wanted to. I could wear what I wanted to wear.
Yes.
I didn't really have to worry about who was going to keep my kids. That was taken care of. And if I needed to pay for a babysitter, I could do that. My job was good. Everything was good. No bills were behind nothing. Everything was great.
Life was
I
good.
loved it. I partied. I had a good time. I got to meet different people. It wasn't a bad thing. So, like, if you out there and you single, embrace that. Don't be sitting around sad.
Yeah,
Don't be
ain't nothing
crying. I
wrong.
mean,
I'm gonna say if you're coming out of a marriage, no matter how long y'all been married, it's hard at first when you first go through with that divorce. But girl, when you shake back, I've been
shake
in
back.
the gym, I've been in a
Yeah.
book club, traveling with them, going out. Oh, let's go get drinks. I can do whatever I want.
Be the
When I
glow
don't
up.
have my baby, I don't have to cook. I don't have to, try to run home, cook, clean up, make sure the house is in order. When my husband gets there, I'm free. But I'm not going to say I don't desire to be married. But right now, I'm using this season to get to know myself and to prepare my heart and to
Yes,
work
absolutely.
on, softening my heart. Because my heart turned out to be very hard after that situation. But I don't want my next husband to have to deal with that trauma.
Right. So you got to heal.
Yeah,
You gotta work on the
use this
healing
time to
process.
heal. And I know if you got kids and you got to go through the whole custody thing, it's gonna be hard at first. But baby, when Scarlett is gone, I'm gone.
Turn up.
Yeah.
Just like I'm here now because I didn't have to ask for a babysitter or anything. It's just the freedom that comes with it.
With that.
So if you're thinking about leaving, but you're having a hard time with it because you don't know how it's gonna turn out, just take a leap of faith. And you'll be
Listen.
okay because your
That's
child
it.
wants to see you happy. Your child
Absolutely.
doesn't want to see you going back and forth with your husband in the house. Y'all slamming doors, throwing stuff, family coming over to try to, soften the situation. That's not healthy. So let it
Absolutely.
go.
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
gone are the days of you sticking it out for your kids.
Baby,
Oh,
Because
yes.
you do them a disservice
I'm telling
when
you.
you're sticking it out and it's toxic.
And they be so happy
You
when
know
you
what I'm
break
saying?
away.
You do. They
So
do.
you have
The
to-
kids be happier
that-
sometimes than you do.
That's love. That's love is sometimes
is.
doing the hard things. I love you enough to walk away.
I love you
my
enough.
kids enough to
Yes,
show them
yes,
something different.
yes,
You know, so
yes.
that's a form of love. You have to love
You do.
yourself
And when
to
you're
get
in
yourself
the
out of some
house
stuff.
with the kid and the spouse, you don't get a break. You're
Oh, no.
constantly going unless, you get a babysitter or something.
Mhm.
But everything is on you in that
Mhm.
situation.
And see, that ain't how it's supposed to be. And
It's not.
that's why I say I'm so grateful. Like my husband, he know he could piss me off sometime and get on my nerve. But one thing I have to give him credit for, he is a damn good father. Like if I get ready to get in my truck and go somewhere, he never hollered, take your son, take out. No, he never ever did that. I've always had the freedom to come and go as I chose and that type of thing. He is like an exceptional father. He's a pretty good husband too when I like him. But because like I said, I always like when I'm just being real.
Yeah.
But when it comes to being a parent, yeah, he got that on lock. And we learned how to parent together. We tag team and learn how to parent together. So when you're able to be in the household with the person that you have a kid with, if it is right, it is the most beautiful thing ever. Now, I don't want no more kids. My husband would love to have another baby. I'm too old. It's just not for me. But if it were not for that, I would absolutely have another baby because he has been an exceptional father. We've had a very good journey when it comes to parenting. And so, like, black men they have a bad rep for not being good fathers
show up
and
too.
that
Show
type of
up,
stuff.
show up.
But
They
I
show
have
up.
no complaints when it comes to my husband about the type of father that he is. I'm telling you, because that
And I think
that's hard to find.
That's so admirable of you, because sometimes just because we don't work out as a couple don't mean you're not a good father. Don't
Right,
mean you're
absolutely,
not a good man.
right.
You're just not.
You're just not the man for me.
Yeah.
But you got all these good qualities because if you didn't, we wouldn't have gotten together in the first place. So I don't think it's fair when you break up and then they're just the worst person in the world, because what does that say about you?
Because
know
you
what I'm
love
saying?
them. At some point, it was something that
It was something.
It was something. So I'm gonna take it on a lighter note, y'all.
Okay.
So y'all know Valentine's Day just passed,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm real big on Valentine's Day is Love Day, and it is for your friends that you love.
Mm-hmm.
It's for your person. It's for your parents if you still have your parents. So my question is, what do we as women expect on Valentine's Day from your person?
I don't really. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't really expect nothing.
You
Like
know, for
I
Valentine's?
don't, because I'm about to tell you why.
Okay.
When I'm in that phone and I see something I like, I'm gonna send it to you and I'm gonna get it. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get it. So it's like if you don't give me nothing for Valentine's Day, but I just got some perfume last week, I'm not mad.
You cool?
I'm cool with that because I always get stuff. So it's like you have some people be like, what do you give a person that get always getting something or whatever? So I mean, but if you don't get me nothing and it's just a happy Valentine's Day, I'm okay with it. Like I'm not. You don't have to just be. You don't have to give me nothing.
What about you?
No, I mean, yeah, you get me stuff all throughout the year, but on Valentine's Day, I expect at least a teddy bear and a card.
And
Listen,
I don't want no bear
something.
though.
I don't want no bird either now.
I
don't.
don't.
Don't
I
give me
used
no
to get that
bird.
in
You can
school. I
even
don't
send me
want no
one
bear.
rose.
Yeah.
Now, working
Something.
where I work,
Uh-huh.
I was really, applauding men because they were coming in.
Mhm.
A lot of them were last minute, but they were coming in because they knew, like,
Mhm.
let me step up.
Mhm.
In your case, he step up all
the time.
year
The
long.
time. Yeah.
Some men, they kind of hitting there. They might be hitting and
Mhm.
missing, but at any other day, don't miss this day.
That day
Because
is
it's
on
it's
the
widely
calendar.
celebrated.
Uh-huh.
So even if I show up yesterday, I'm gonna show up again today with something. Now I did buy you perfume last Saturday, so here's some money. Go get you some dinner or something like on
Yeah.
this day. Like just don't forget, like just let me know that you acknowledge it because I'm gonna acknowledge it for you. So, but I want you to do it all the time.
People say Valentine's Day is every day. My husband is good to me. Like there's nothing that I can't ask of him that he won't do. But on Valentine's Day, buddy, you better come with me something because that is on that
Valentine's Day is more
calendar.
important than birthdays. though.
Now, birthday, you gotta come come through for birthdays
Don't
too, but
forget my
Valentine's
birthday.
Day,
Get my birthday.
yeah, that's on the calendar. You better have me some nice. And then,
And the way it's marketed, like you
It's
seeing
like
all
it's
these
just for
people, it's love day. So,
but yeah, I asked my husband today. We was on the way back to Texarkana this afternoon, and I said, "Do you think Valentine's Day is for men and women?" And he was like, "It's a woman holiday," and it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit until I thought about it, and then me and Brittany talked about it, and she was like, "Yeah, you're doing too much for him," in so many words. But it was like he said, Valentine's Day is for women. I was like, "So you don't expect nothing for Valentine's Day?" He was like, "Nah, I've been married to you for 13 years. I get you something every year for Valentine's Day. What do you mean?" He was like, "But I wouldn't be mad if you didn't give me anything." He said, "I appreciate what you get me." He said, "But I don't know what you got me last year for Valentine's." What? So I'm like, but I do that because it's Love Day and it's for the
love it.
people that you
It's
love.
showing your
So it's showing your
appreciation,
appreciation. So that's why I do it, and that's why I be trying to include, you know, my husband for Valentine's Day, my husband, my son, my mama. I spent my Valentine's Day with my mama. We all did. We took my mom out to dinner and all of that because my mom is, my dad passed away. So I wanted to make her Valentine's Day special, and I don't want her to be by
Absolutely.
herself. So I feel like it matters. I don't care if you got me something last week. Give me something for Valentine's Day.
Or acknowledge it.
Yeah, or
Just
acknowledge it.
acknowledge it.
Yeah. I mean, because I buy for myself too, but I just feel like, listen, Valentine's Day.
I don't know. I don't think it's. I mean,
You don't think it's that important?
I mean, it's important, but it ain't that important. It ain't that deep.
It's not for you.
Because I mean, I still got
You
something.
get stuff.
I still got something for Valentine's
Right,
Day
friend.
or
So why you
whatever.
sit here acting
I
like?
mean, 'cause I wouldn't. I
Was you
mean, if-
expecting something?
Not really, no.
So you wouldn't have been mad
No.
at all?
No, I got roses
Mm-hmm.
and I got some perfume that I had wanted. I get roses all the time. I
Mhm.
get
Oh, that's
perfume
good.
all the time. We ate good. We eat good every day.
We friend
Yeah.
all the time, and we
it's
gonna
like,
eat.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, I appreciate everything,
Yeah.
Don't let me not say that, but as far as it being for men, yeah, men deserve gifts too, but
Absolutely.
some men don't want you to get them nothing.
Yeah,
They be
my
like, nah,
husband
this
said he
all
don't care
about
about
you.
it.
Like, this all about you.
He
So
said he don't care about
I didn't
it.
get him anything or whatever, but
And he didn't feel away.
he didn't feel no type of way because I guess to him it is a woman's holiday for me and his kids. But when it's Valentine's Day, I do get my kids something. I'm gonna make sure I get them something.
Absolutely.
Whether
I
it's the
feel
boys or the
like,
girls. It don't
Absolutely.
matter.
The way that America markets Valentine's Day is marketed for the women.
It is.
Like gifts, they want you to go out and buy for the women because we are the biggest consumers. Men, they're pretty cut and dry with what they want. They go in the store, they come right out. Women, we're shoppers, we're the biggest consumers. So from a profit standpoint, it's going to be targeted towards the women. And I feel like it's for a man, they're like, well, let me go buy her something because that's all I see on TV. So, but I think we kind of have to debunk that through our actions of showing them love too, showing them buying them gifts too. No, they don't expect it because it's just been the way it has been. So we just kind of have to turn that train around and like, I'm going to pour into you, but it shouldn't just be on Valentine's Day.
Nah, it should be all the time.
Like, let's
But
do for
I
him
just
all
feel
the
like
time.
you should make your person feel loved, and so that's what I be doing. But when my husband was like, it's for women. I don't care. He was like, but I appreciate it. So
Because
I
that'd be
mean,
like,
for
for instance, with your kids, Christmas come around. It's Christmas 365. Yeah, but they
But on
don't
that
want
day-
something
yeah,
on
on
Christmas. You know what
Christmas.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know I bought you Jordans or your favorite controller last week, but when they wake up, they going to want to see something under their tree. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you want to make it
I just
special
feel like
for your
because it's a day on the calendar. Like my mama, I love my mama all year round.
Oh, God,
but baby, when
yeah.
Mother's Day come, I'm finna come through with her because if I don't, she probably gonna be looking crazy. And yeah, that's just what that is. So it's just a day on the calendar. So I just feel like you should show love, but it just depends on how your relationship works. Because if your man is not into that or he doesn't care, then it's fine. So you have to do
Had to have them conversations.
what works for you, and so that's why I be having them conversations just so I can see. Yeah.
By him saying that, you gonna get him something extra?
Yeah, I'm always getting something. That's just what I'm a giver. I give. And so, yeah, I'm going to get him something. I am. But I was like, dang, that's how you feel about it? But I mean, we want honesty. Women, we say we want honesty.
Yeah.
So,
But
I
don't know
mean,
how
when
to
he,
take it.
I took it. I took it. Because at first I was like, oh, I had got an attitude. But I mean, I get it. It is a woman's holiday. That's how, like Brittany said, that's how they market it. But yeah, I'm gonna still come through.
Because what exactly do you get a man for Valentine's
I got
Day?
my husband a coat. I got him a shirt to go up underneath the coat. I even asked him to be my Valentine. I took him out to dinner.
spirit,
I
no
paid for
expenses.
dinner when we went to dinner because my husband loved a winery. I took her all of it. I paid for all of it.
I love
Mhm.
that.
I did. So yeah.
I
You
love
can
that.
you know your
I
person.
love love.
You know what your person like. You know what you can get them.
Yeah.
My person said, "Go. Will you cook something?" Of course.
That's what he want.
Absolutely.
So
Of
that's what
course.
works. So you gotta do
Yeah.
do what works.
I love
So
that.
listen. Now, I am going to let my friend Jazz
Come on.
tell us about what she has going on before we end.
Yeah, so I have started a podcast called Car Ride Conversations, where we just sit in the car, whoever the guest is, we sit in the car and we talk about the different topics. Every week it'll be a different topic. It comes on every Monday on Facebook Live at 7 p.m.
Mhm.
And like I say, you just never know who's gonna be in the car with me or whatever. But that's all it is. It's just car ride conversations, and sometimes I might pop in throughout the week just to say how I feel about something or a situation that I've experienced or someone close to me has experienced. So it's just me. It's just really keeping it real. Like,
So what
having
is
a
your
car.
Facebook? How can we watch it?
My Facebook is Shay J Rich. That's my Facebook. So just follow me or send me a friend request.
All right. So I want to thank you, ladies, for your open and honest answers on the Jones Way podcast. And thank you guys for participating.
And this is for
Bye.
entertainment purposes only.
Only. Always a pleasure.
All right, y'all.